Mosquito. If you guys can't hear me too well, it's because my microphone broke and the new one hasn't come in yet. I'm gonna start by pulling the seat out, but these are the lights we're going to be installing. They're called Wave One Marine, and they are from Amazon. They're about $38 a piece, and they are RGBW, so red, green, blue, and white. They are a 2-inch, so you drill with a 2-inch hole saw. They have an O-ring. The cover snaps on. Just gets 2 little mounting screws. Install the cover, and you got a nice flush mount courtesy light. So let's go ahead and remove this base. Just like that, the hole's in. Mosquito. Put him to rest. All right. So before I install these lights, I like to, when I can, get under the console, kind of get a rough idea of the length of wire I need, map it out exactly where I'm going to go, and then cut it to length. And then what I'm going to be using is this Anchor Marine. It's a 2-conductor wire, but it's 14-2, which is a little big really for this project, but I had extra, so this is what I'm going to use. I do heat shrink butt connectors. Then I use a piece of adhesive lined marine heat shrink over top of those, just so it's double sealed. I've been doing it that way for years and never had a problem. Then after that, I use this braided, it's kind of hard to see, a braided loom, and I feed the wire through that, and then I heat shrink the ends. I crimp on the ends, but it gives you like a very factory looking harness. So yeah, let's get started and you'll see how it looks when it's done. Little Amazon rechargeable butane torch. That's what I use to shrink down these butt connectors. These are my favorite strippers slash crimps. They are a Snap-on product, if you can see. But I've had these about 10 years and they're still my go-to. So after I butt connect them, heat shrink the butt connectors and go over it with the marine heat shrink. Now we'll install the loom. You just have to kind of inch it on. And be careful not to heat the braided loom. I believe it's just made out of nylon. But if you heat the heat shrink up too hot right there, you'll burn right through it. So, and basically that's it. This end will have my spade terminal for the positive, a ring lug for the negative, and it just gives it a more, I don't know, my opinion, looks more professional, but a little overkill, really. It's not necessary, but yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and get the other one knocked out. All right, got the second one done. Let's go ahead and get them installed in the boat. All right, I'm getting ready to install these lights. I really want to take you guys in there with me under the console, but I think with my big old noggin, I don't think we're going to fit with the little tripod. So I'm going to try to just give you a before and after, and you can see I'm not going too crazy. I'm just going to install my 2 wires for the lights and then just try to neaten everything up really quick. So, all right, here's a before. It's really not that bad. It's just a little sloppy. But, yeah, I'll give you an after. Actually forgot, before I get these things wired, I got to mount them. So sometimes when your hand's tied up, you got to improvise. We'll go ahead and pre-drill these. Get off my butt. You snap on the white cover, and there it is, a flush mounted courtesy light. All right, guys. Here's an update on the wiring. I didn't go crazy, just neatened it up a little bit, got it all tucked to the side. You can see the harnesses I made. Whenever you're doing something like this, always leave a little slack right here. That way it doesn't pull, because it could eventually pull out of the back of the light. I got slack over here too. And this wire here, I did leave those loose because they're power and ground for the radio. And I will be replacing that at some point. So yeah, let's see these things in action. Turn it on. It's white. Off. Back on. Blue. Off. Back on. Red. Off. Back on. Green. Back to white. Me personally, I'm a blue guy for a night. I think it looks cool. But I'm just putting 2 in here, you know, just to give it a little detail. I do have a blue drain plug light coming in as well. So yeah, that's about it. It's getting late, so I'm gonna get cleaned up and call it a night. Okay guys, the drain plug light came in, so we're gonna go ahead and work on getting that installed today. Here's their information. I've ran their products before and they're pretty awesome. So let's see what we got here. This is the light. This one is called the Acme 2. It is what fits the drain flange that is on my boat currently. It's just a little cheesy plastic flange, but so I won't need to drill any holes or anything. It'll go right in the original mounting holes. it'll just get a new set of screws and nice heavy dose of 5200 around the flange and in the screw holes on the screws. Um, Included is the screws, a plastic drain plug, and these take LED drivers because they are a high powered LED. So, all right, so there's a drain plug we're going to be replacing. As you can see, it's plastic. All right, screw holes line up. Pull this sticker off the back that states do not connect these LEDs without the driver. All right, got the decal removed. I could not get the water to stop dripping out of the bilge hole, so I had to go down in there with a towel and actually mop up all the water. So I'm gonna give this one last wipe just to verify it's 100% clean with acetone. My tube for the 5200 broke, so I have to squeeze it out of the side of the tube. But one thing's for certain, this is never going to leak. I know somebody somewhere is freaking out how messy this is. Trust me, once I clean it up, you'll never know. Had to grab a bigger screwdriver. Little touch in those corners, but it's all right. I'd rather it be sealed. Let's get this thing wired up. Okay, guys, jumped up here to wire up the light. I don't have enough room to really film while I'm doing this. With my arms down in that hole, I think it'll be in the way. So, best I can do is give you a before and after. All right, guys, there it is. It's not ideal because there's tons of wire down there, but all the wiring's off the floor. I used a big hose. I know you probably can't see it over there to the left to attach the harness and the LED drivers to. That way, you know, it just stays up out of the water if this ever gets water. While I was in there, I went ahead and gave it a quick scrub and rinse. Like I said, not ideal, but yeah, there it is. Let's see this thing in action. It doesn't even register well on the phone because of how bright they are. These things are bright as crap. So I don't want to leave them on too long because they do get really hot out of the water. So today's video, we're gonna make a plate out of black acrylic, 1/4 inch thick, that covers where the box for the old radio used to sit. Got the plate here, got the radio. It's a Fusion RA770. For the acrylic, I need it to be larger than this, slightly. And this measures 9 3/4 by 4 1/4. So to be safe, I'm going to go 10 by 4 1/2. What I like to do first is double check the edges, just to make sure whatever edge you're going to work off of is square. Go ahead and mark this out. This is only a 12-inch sheet, so we're not really wasting too much. All right. Lots of lines. We're cutting this, then we're cutting this. What we should do is we should start with the center first and go from there. So I'm going to use a jigsaw if I can find my jigsaw. If not, I'll use my little 3-inch cutoff wheel. The jigsaw just does a much cleaner job. I'm going to drill a hole in each corner. And then, yeah, we'll go ahead and get this thing cut out. Voila. First cut. Test the radio. Little snug. This paper is also folding into this hole, so. There it is. Cool. First part down. Now let's cut this out. And there's what we're left with. Now that this thing's all cut out, we need to radius these corners, because if you put something in there with these straight corners, it's going to look crazy. So we got to find something round that we can trace to give it a nice little radius. I got these little plastic caps. They seem like they would have like a decent radius. Just line it up on the edge. That's going to look nice. So for this, since it's so close to the edges, I don't like using the jigsaw for that. What I'm going to use is a 4.5-inch grinder. With a flat wheel, a sanding wheel. And basically, I'm just going to hold it on. Maybe if I put a fresh battery in it. These on charge. Basically, I'm just going to hold it on and then sand this down to that line. There it is. 4 radius corners. And then we're not done yet. From there, what we need to do is we'll take the DA with some wet paper, and we're gonna sand this and then wet sand it. And we're gonna start with 320. We'll go ahead and work it up and give this edge a nice polish. All right, guys. DA's something's not too hot with that. So, what we're gonna do is do a little hand sanding. I know there's kind of a lot involved in making one of these. I mean, you could probably stop here, but for me, I just like to take it to the next level and make it nice and shiny too. M12 buffer with a wool pad, little hand-me-down McGuire's diamond cut. It's getting the shine to it, but it's not where I want it yet. So change to a foam pad and ultra finishing polish. And now you can see the shine is we're shining now. I'll take a countersink bit and cut on this and just let it flush out. Okay. You guys think? Tomorrow we'll throw this radio in, get it wired up, and see how it sounds. All right, I'm gonna film what I can. First, I should have already had this done, but I've got to get rid of this old dirt, grime, silicone nastiness. It's looking kind of crazy. Get this plate mounted. This is the moment of truth in real time. Switch is on. Obviously, it's powering on. I obviously can't play music for you guys because apparently it's copyrighted. And I don't have any of my own music. So, all right, guys, that's going to conclude the wiring portion of this series. Make sure you tune in next week. We're going to be doing a service on the lower unit, and we're going to get this thing ready to get back in the water and possibly go on our last ride for the season. So, stay tuned. I'll see you next week.